All right, I'm more or less done with these terraces. Some I find kind of fascinating though. Remember how that was just a soupy, muddy mess this morning? Well, 5 hours later, baking in the sun, look how all that clay is rippling up. Even on the bottom layer, the topsoil that was all wet and that I trawled into place, it's all starting to ripple and buckle as it dries out in the sun. And it's only 13 degrees Celsius at the beginning of April here on the west coast, but a little bit of sun, a little bit of heat, and that clay dries right out. So anyway, done with this terrace. It's roughed into shape. I know it's draining properly now because I watched it drain all winter and I knew what I needed to fix. And so now I need to grab all this topsoil that got piled up here, put it back on the terrace, smooth it out, this one too by the way, and seed it so that when the rains come tonight, it's going to rain for the next week and be about 13 to 15 degrees Celsius during the day, sunny, rainy all night. That's my hope anyway. We're going to grow a lawn just in time for summer. So let's get to it. Here is a big pile of topsoil that I stripped off the field here before I made the terrace. So basically you strip the topsoil off, you form your terraces out of the clay underneath, then you put your topsoil back on and grow some grass. Grass isn't going to grow in that clay, so you got to save your topsoil. It's a pain in the ass, but it works pretty good. Anyway, I piled this up in the fall, and although you can see some grasses growing here on the outside, check out what's on the inside. Look at that. Let's go in there a bit deeper. That is beauty. All that soil. Yeah, we got some field grasses on the outside. It happens. But on the inside, it's what's inside that counts. The inside, this is just beautiful composted. Look at these worms. Beautiful composted material here, filled with worms. Happy little guys. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to start swinging. We're going to spread this topsoil out into our terrace and then blade it out into place. Hopefully it's pretty wet, so hopefully it blades out okay. So let's go. And really you just want to do the quick and dirty here. Just chuck this soil out wherever you can, because ultimately we're going to get in there with our blade and push it around, make it look all pretty and level. And if not, we can install it with our tilt bucket here. The tilt bucket. At any rate, for the next couple hours, all this topsoil will be down on this terrace. Alright, well that's quite a lot of dirt. Let's go and spread this topsoil out. Oh, it's so wet. Look what's happening with my track down there. It's so wet. Might not blade. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't blade, then, well, it's going to take a lot longer. So far, so good. So you can see we got a spread of about, oh, that's about 3 or 4 inches of topsoil right there. I've almost gone all the way across the terrace. I haven't used even a fraction of my pile of dirt. I still have this one of topsoil over here too. So a lot of top here that I got. Not gonna have to use it all. Let's go spread it. Anyway, I'll leave you for now, and you can come back and see what the finished job is like when I'm done. So I did get all the topsoil put back down yesterday, and I managed to finish off my my terrace level down there. But I did not finish off this level before the end of the evening. The rains came even quicker than expected, and now I'm in a huge mud pit. It's a bit of a problem because when you're in mud like this, you can't really blade because the material just pushes, doesn't distribute. And you can't float blade either because it just ends up looking like this. So there's only one thing left to do, and that is just smooth it all out with my float bucket. So, you know, this really sucks, but that's life. So now I'm just gonna have to go through this whole level, smooth it out with my float bucket, with my wrist bucket. So I'm gonna start over here and work my way across, and you know, this is a couple hours of work, but I'll get it done. I'll get this seeded out today. In a month there'll be grass all over this. I'll go to town now with my bucket, trawling this all out. In the end, it's actually kind of better because this is actually going to be a lawn. And so when you kind of smooth it all out with your bucket like this, it's kind of like, you know, doing concrete work, right? You end up pushing all the big rocks down, creating this kind of cream of mud on the top, just like with concrete. And at the end of the day, you end up with a much smoother surface, and all the big rocks are gone. They're hidden behind the dirt at the bottom. So it's going to take some time. You know, it'll take me a couple hours to do this whole terrace. And when I'm done, it's going to look nice and beautiful and smooth, just like these two bottom terraces that I did yesterday. Look how lovely those are. All right, I'm gonna go to town and I'll show you what it all looks like when I'm done. Well, there you have it, done. I basically screeded that entire terrace with my tilt bucket. And to be honest, I think it did a pretty good job. It took me about 2 hours. It was a long time. But you know, if I had bladed and float bladed that, it probably would have been an hour at least of back and forth. And you know, ultimately it's probably less wear and tear on the excavator because I was just swinging and using the bucket just like it's meant to do, and not, you know, using the tracks and rolling back and forth, which the excavator doesn't really love. So ultimately, I'm pretty proud of that job. I was also able to kind of really hand tweak the levels there, and you know, it looks pretty good. Drainage looks pretty good. So there you go. That's how you use your tilt bucket to screed the mud on a terrace and get it in order and get it looking good when weather and Mother Nature is against you. And it's raining pretty hard right now, actually. But I managed to get that project done. So I'll go and grass that out tomorrow or seed that out tomorrow. And, you know, in a month, we should have a nice, beautiful green lawn here.